What's going on, everybody? I'm Ryan Neff. This is the Line of Scrimmage with Ryan Neff. We are 10 days away, my friends, from week 0 of the college football season. Don't forget, next Thursday, I will be having my college football preview show, 2024 edition, from 7 to 10 p.m. That'll be from McLaughlin's Pub and Grill in Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, right around the corner from where I'm at. Many guests lined up. Talk about the top 25. We're going to go through each conference. Just a whole bunch of stuff that's on the table. So to start with today, the AP came out with their top 25, which I don't put a lot of faith and stock into the preseason polls anyway, because they're going to change after week 2. So here we go. I will start. The Iowa Hawkeyes, the AP has ranked 25th. Their season is going to depend on Cade McNamara. Can he stay upright? He's been injury-riddled throughout his career. Anything's an upgrade over the last 2-3 years. The Iowa offense has been absolutely deplorable. They don't have Penn State. They don't have Oregon. They don't have Michigan. They don't have USC. The big one is at number 2, Ohio State, on October the 5th. That's the key game on their schedule. A lot of the other games, most of them will probably be favored, but they are the 25th ranked team in the nation preseason AP. 24th, the NC State Wolfpack. Again, have to see it from NC State. I'm always high on them preseason the last couple of years, and they always fold. Looking at the schedule, they have to play Tennessee September 7th, which I believe is their opening game. Very tough. But the rest of the slate is manageable. Big game for them is they have to travel to Ann Arbor September 21st. 22nd ranked team, according to the AP preseason poll, the Kansas Jayhawks. They're at Kansas State October 26th. Kansas, can you beat Kansas State this year? You've lost to them 15 straight times. That's the big game on the schedule. They don't play Utah. They don't play Oklahoma State. They don't play Arizona. So they're kind of catching a break here. They're the 22nd ranked team in the nation, according to the AP poll. 21st, AP has the Arizona Wildcats. Key game for them is November 18th. I'm sorry. Their key game is Kansas State September 13th. Again, we don't know what Arizona is going to be. Coach left. Sort of in a transition period here. We'll see what happens with Arizona. Number 20, they have the Texas A&M Aggies. Don't see it, but okay. Their key game is going to be August 31st against Notre Dame. They get them in College Station. Remember, Jimbo Fisher's out. Mike Elko is in. Riley Leonard is at Texas A&M, their quarterback. Still have to see it on the field. I think Texas A&M is going to struggle. 19, the Miami Hurricanes. They're at Florida August 31st. We'll talk about my Florida Gators because they're going to just stink out loud this year. Remember, Cam Ward is transferred from Washington State. They get Virginia Tech and Florida State at home, which is good for them. But again, still need to see it out of the Hurricanes on both sides of the ball. They've got themselves a good quarterback now. See what they can do this year, but I still have to see it. Number 18, they have ranked the Kansas State Wildcats. Their big game looks like it's going to be October 17th, against Oklahoma State September 28th, if I could speak. They do play Arizona on September 13th, but I think they'll win that game. Again, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Utah, they will be the favorites for the Big 12. I think the conference is going to beat up on one another, so we'll see. Oh, go figure. At 17, they've got Oklahoma State ranked at 17. They open with South Dakota State, which isn't going to be easy. They get visits from Arkansas, Utah, and they've got to go to Kansas State. Again, Mike Gundy, no more excuses. Oklahoma's gone from the Big 12. Texas is gone. Everybody's darling is going to be Utah. I think if he has a rough season this year or he doesn't at least make the Big 12 championship game, he's been there, going on almost 20 years. It might be put up or shut up this year for Gundy. At number 16, the Oklahoma Sooners. I don't see it. But they've got Tulane September 14th. And again, the rest of the SEC schedule for them, the SEC schedule, they're going to struggle big time. I think Oklahoma's going to take it on the chin this year. AP has the Tennessee Volunteers ranked 15th. They have NC State, that's in Charlotte, that is on September the 7th. But again, do I think Tennessee's going to make the playoff? Probably not. Again, I don't think any team in the SEC this year will go unscathed. At number 14, the Clemson Tigers. They've got to play Georgia, which you just hope it's competitive. Week 3, they've got to play NC State. That's not going to be easy. And, of course, they get Florida State. Of course, DJ Uiagalelei is on his third team in 2 years. Can Cade Klubnik take the next level? Can he take it to the next level? I think the ACC is wide open this year. I know everyone's going to say Florida State, but Florida State lost a lot as well. So, number 13, they have the LSU Tigers. Of course, this is post Jaden Daniels. They've lost a lot. They've also gained a lot. September 1st, Labor Day weekend, they get USC. And again, I don't think anybody in the SEC is going to go undefeated. LSU probably will be good this year. Decent. Do I think that they're going to be gangbusters? No. The defense has to improve, significantly. You don't want to repeat of last year where the defense was just absolutely atrocious. The offense was on fire, but the defense was bad. They have the Utah Utes ranked 12th. On September 21st, they're at Oklahoma State. Again, they are going to be the darlings of the Big 12 in their first year because Cam Rising's coming back. And he could quite possibly be the player of the year in the Big 12. Depending on how he does, he could be a Heisman Trophy finalist. So, but again, I don't think anybody, excuse me, in the Big 12, they're going to beat up on one another as well. At number 11, the Missouri Tigers. Everybody, the Missouri Tigers had a fantastic season last year. They're at Texas A&M October the 5th. And again, in the special next week, I'm going to go through the breakdown of everybody's schedules, more key games and whatnot. Missouri, sleeper team in the SEC? I think so. Could they be like a dark horse to make the college football playoff? Potentially. So we'll see. At number 10, the Florida State Seminoles. Everybody knows what happened last year with Jordan Travis getting hurt. Again, have to see it. New people, different positions. But again, the ACC is wide open. They open next week in Dublin against Georgia Tech. And I think Georgia Tech will be a sneaky good team or a tough out for anybody this year. At number 9, they've got the Michigan Wolverines. Obviously, Harbaugh is gone. We'll see what they're all about September 7th when they have to play Texas. Of course, they have to play Ohio State at the end of the year. I'm on the fence with Michigan about making the college football playoff. Say what you want about Jim Harbaugh, but those players played for him. Not saying they're not going to play for Sharon, the new head coach, but he's got his own issues going on. I think that might be a little too high for Michigan to be ranked. This is probably based off last year, but what the hell. At number 8, the Penn State and Indy Lions. Again, how's Drew Allar going to be this year? He looked lost at times last year. They have to play USC October 12th. And that kicks off a brutal schedule for them. They got USC. Then they have to play Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Washington. Or we'll see with Penn State. At 7, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. August 31st, they play Texas A&M. Notre Dame's schedule is conducive for them to make the college football playoff. I mean, if you go and take a look at their schedule, A&M should win, and Northern Illinois, Purdue, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, Florida State, and USC maybe, but I think they will probably make the college football playoff with ease. At number 6, they have the Ole Miss Rebs, the Rebels. If anybody takes a look at Ole Miss's schedule the first 5 weeks, they're not 5-0 after the first 5 weeks. There's a problem because it's for the most part Cupcake City. And if I remember correctly from looking at the schedule, they don't go on the road in the SEC until I think it's week 6 at South Carolina. At number 5, they've got the Alabama Crimson Tide. They play number 1. They play Georgia, September the 28th. Kim DeBoer is there now. Nick Saban gone. Be working for ESPN. I just think Alabama is ranked this high, probably based off the history over the last 17 years. I think DeBoer going to have it rough. At number 4, they have the Texas Longhorns. Again, the Longhorns have lost 2 of their main running backs in camp. That's not good. They play Oklahoma in Dallas on October 12th. I know it's the Red River Shootout, but it sort of has lost its luster. They have to play Michigan too. But we'll see how Texas responds after last year's college football playoff loss. In the number 3 position, they got the Oregon Ducks. They've lost some pieces, but they've just replenished. The big game is obviously October 12th against Ohio State. Of course, they get Ohio State at home. Oregon Ducks. Sneaky good team, my friends. Eugene always a tough place to play. And they have Ohio State in the number 2 position. They play Iowa October 5th. Might be a trap 'em game for Ohio State. But look, Ohio State, with what they've added, what they brought in, like I said, Jim Harbaugh gone, Ryan Day, if you can't beat Michigan now, you're going to be looking for another job after the season's over. Unless you make the playoff and win the Natty. And the number 1 team is Georgia. And again, they don't have it easy either. They play Clemson August 31st, but that should be a win. They still have some questions in the receiving corps. But I think the defense will be solid. But look, like I said, nobody, and I mean nobody, in the SEC is going to go undefeated this year, period. News and notes from around the country. Missouri defensive end Darius Smith hurts his knee in practice. He's out for the season, unfortunately. He transferred to Missouri from SEC rival Georgia. Didn't say the nature of the injury, just said he hurt his knee. So prayers to him. It just sucks in camp when you get hurt and you're out for the year. You know, you're looking forward to football. You practice and you practice and you practice and you get hurt and you're done. It just stinks. I was mentioning Texas has lost another running back to a season-ending injury. True freshman Christian Clark tore his Achilles in practice on Monday. Everybody remembers C.J. Baxter about a week ago. He hurt his knee. Jaden Blue seems to be now the workhorse for Texas. And I'm sure they have a slew of other backs that they can probably plug in there. That's why you go to Texas to play big boy football. So don't cry boo-hoo just yet. Other news and notes. Coming out of Wisconsin camp, Tyler Van Dyke. He is the Wisconsin starting quarterback. He transferred from Miami. He completed 63.7% of his passes for 7,469 yards, 54 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions. 3 years with the Hurricanes. So again, Wisconsin could be another sleepy good team in the Big Ten, or Big 8 team, Big 16, whatever the hell they call themselves now. Let's see, what else do we have from around the world of college football? Pardon me while my Samsung pad here refreshes. Give me just a second. Unfortunately, news coming out of Oklahoma camp, wide receiver Jaden Gibson is out for the season with a knee injury. Suffered the injury last week. Devastating blow. Dude's 6'5". Big target. Oklahoma opens up against Temple, which should be in utter destruction. And go figure, Jim Harbaugh has opted out as Michigan's honorary captain for the opener. Anybody shocked? Yeah. Good old Jim Harbaugh. I found this interesting with the Bleacher Report. They came up with something called one word to describe every top 25 college football team's 2024 outlook. Pardon me while I take a sip of my refreshing beverage. Good old Gatorade. Number 25, Iowa, they say it's perplexing. Basically because of the offense. Again, can Cade McNamara stay healthy and upright? And who knows? They scored 27 points a game with their defense. Who knows? One word to describe the 2024 preseason outlook for North Carolina State, they say, is sneaky. We'll see. I hear that every year about NC State. Every year. I'm always expecting them to go to the next level, and they don't. Their one word to describe USC preseason is apprehensive. I agree with that. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with USC. We really don't. Lincoln Riley, I think, is on a hot seat. They started off 5-0 last year, and then they went into the crapper. A lot of pieces to replace. I just don't know about USC. Kansas Jayhawks, they say the preseason outlook is energetic. We'll see. Kansas has gotten off the fast starts the last couple of years, and then they played the big boys. And if they go 7-5 or 8-4 and make a good bowl game, that's a success in Kansas. The one word that they describe Arizona's preseason hopes is hopeful. Again, remember, out with the old head coach, in with Brett Brennan. Big 12 is going to be tough. Texas A&M, they said, is curious. Again, Mike Elko there. Not expecting gangbusters there in College Station. We'll see. Their word to describe Miami Hurricanes' preseason outlook is dangerous. But we'll see. Do you realize in the last 20 years, Miami has one 10-win season? One. So I hear this every year about the Hurricanes. I saw ESPN's Greg McElroy saying he doesn't know why people are not more high on Miami. They've got to prove it. You can say that their offense looks great on paper. You have to go out and perform. Kansas State, they say preseason outlook for the season is steady. Again, with the Big 12, it all comes down to defense. I think whoever has the best defense in the Big 12, sprinkled in with a well balanced offense, is going to win this conference. So we'll see. Their one word to describe the Oklahoma State Cowboys is bright. We'll see. Again, Mike Gundy, can you win the Big 12 with Oklahoma and Texas gone? Oklahoma Sooners, they say conflicting. I agree with that. I don't know what the hell I'm going to get out of Oklahoma this year. I mean, in November, they have to play Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. Yeesh. Tennessee, they have modest. Don't see them threatening for the SEC this year. I really don't. 9-3, 8-4, somewhere in there. Clemson, they have meaningful. We'll see. Their opening 5-game stretch includes teams like Georgia, NC State, and Florida State. It could be disaster unless they can pull off. They're not going to beat Georgia. NC State and Florida State, different story. LSU, the one word to describe LSU's possible season hopes is provocative. Again, with LSU this year, how retooled is that defense? Because I don't doubt that the offense is going to be okay. Utah Utes, they're saying optimistic. Can Cam Rising stay healthy this year? Defense is going to be stout. That's Kyle Whittingham's wheelhouse. We'll see. Missouri, they have favorable. Again, Missouri 9-3-ish, somewhere in there. Florida State, they say that the preseason outlook is admirable. Can they beat Clemson? Can they beat Miami? We'll see. The one word to describe Michigan's season hopes, fine. We'll see. Got to play Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. Those could be 3 losses right there. Penn State and the Lions, tense. Can Penn State beat Ohio State? We'll see. I think this is going to be Franklin's 11th year. Can he get the program over into the next level? Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they have their season as obtainable. Just mentioning what their schedule was before. They're probably going to make the playoff. Ole Miss, compelling. Again, with the team that Lane Kiffin has assembled, I would not see why Ole Miss couldn't make a run at this SEC championship. Alabama, they have strenuous. Again, that's just because Jim Harbaugh's gone. Texas Longhorns, credible. Just mentioned the 2 running backs that are gone. Tough schedule. They have exciting for the Oregon Ducks. Again, Big Ten, no more Bo Nix, but you get Ohio State at home. We'll see. Ohio State confident. Why wouldn't you be with the team that Ryan Day has assembled? And Georgia, they have tougher. Obviously, with the additions of Oklahoma and Texas. They got to play Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas. Tough schedules, man. Again, I do not think that anybody in any conference is going to go undefeated. I found this kind of interesting too. Strength of schedules. Who has the hardest in the country? Uh, this is according to footballschedules.com. And number 10 is Stanford, who's now in the ACC. They began ACC conference play with, they begin with a non-conference slate against TCU. ACC consecutive road games at Syracuse and Clemson. They have to go to Notre Dame. NC State on the road, Louisville at home, and Cal on the road. The big game. At number 9, they've got the Alabama Crimson Tide. They've got to go to Wisconsin, play Georgia and Missouri at home. They have to go to Tennessee, LSU, and Oklahoma. And, of course, they have Auburn at home in the Iron Bowl. Of course, everybody remembers what happened last year in that particular game. They've got Georgia as the 8th toughest schedule. Of course, they got to play Clemson. They got to play Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee. Number 7, they have West Virginia. Of course, once Virginia plays Penn State, and they host Kansas and Kansas State, and they have to go to Oklahoma State and Arizona. They've got Purdue, ranked 6th. Play Notre Dame at home. They have Oregon State on the road. Then they host Oregon. They host Penn State. They have to go to Ohio State. Yeesh. Number 5, they got the Houston Cougars. They get Oklahoma on the road. They get Utah and Kansas State at home. And they have to go to at Kansas, at Arizona, at Cincinnati, and at TCU. Good luck. Number 4, they have Georgia Tech. Of course, they play Florida State in the opener next week. They also play Miami, NC State, and Georgia. And if things aren't enough, tough enough for Lincoln Riley, they've got USC ranked 3rd here. Got to play UCLA, LSU, Oregon, Penn State, Iowa, and USC. UCLA is number 2. Play LSU, Oregon, Penn State, Iowa, and USC. And my Gators are number 1 on here. It's going to be an abysmal season in Gainesville. They have to play Miami. They've got to play Texas A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, and Florida State. Good Lord. Just trying to look at some of the other news and notes from around the world of college football. Might be a short one today. For you SEC geeks like me, from yardbarker.com, the top 10 SEC football non-conference games in 2024. And number 10, UCLA at LSU. LSU should win that game. Number 9, they've got Tennessee at North Carolina State. That's a toss-up. At 8, Central Florida at Florida. I mean, this is for part of Florida bragging rights anyway. Number 19, Miami at Florida. Go just pile it on. Number 6, Alabama at Wisconsin. We'll see. And number 5, Notre Dame at Texas A&M. And number 4, Florida at Florida State. At 3, LSU USC. At number 2, Georgia Clemson. At number 1, Texas and Michigan. They've come out with their All-American teams. Dylan Gabriel is your starting quarterback on the All-American team. Ollie Gordon, your running back from Oklahoma State. Ashton Genty from Boise State, the other running back. Your wide receivers are Luther Burden from Missouri and Tetiaroa McMillan, Arizona. The tight end, Colston Loveland, Michigan. The offensive tackles are Will Campbell from LSU. Kelvin Banks Jr. from Texas. Your guards, Tyler Booker, Alabama. Donovan Jackson, Ohio State. And center, Parker Brailsford from Alabama. The first team, All-American defense. Defensive end, James Pierce, Tennessee. Defensive end, Ashton Gillott, Louisville. 2 defensive tackles are Mason Graham, Michigan, and Deion Walker, Kentucky. Your linebackers are Harold Perkins Jr., LSU. Danny Stutzman, Oklahoma. Jay Higgins, Iowa. Your cornerbacks are Benjamin Morris from Notre Dame and Will Johnson from Michigan. And the safeties are Caleb Downs, Ohio State, and safety Malachi Starks from Georgia. I would go through the second teams, but it would take me to get through this forever. This is also this is from the Athletic. This is from Stuart Mandel. This is where his SEC predictions for this particular year. He has Georgia finishing on top, 7-1, 11-1 record. He has Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss, each finishing 6-2 in the conference. Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, all at 6-2 in the conference, all finishing with 10-2 records. And he has LSU at 5-3 in the conference, finishing 9-3. Texas A&M finishing 5-3 in conference, 8-4 overall. Auburn, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kentucky. He all has finishing 4-4 in the conference with 8-4 records. Florida finishing 3-5 in the conference with a 6-6 record. Arkansas finishing 2-6 in the conference with a 5-7 record. South Carolina 1-7. Mississippi State 1-7. South Carolina finishing 4-8. Mississippi 3-9, and Vanderbilt going 0-8 in the conference, 3-9 overall. And just for craps and giggles, he also has his ACC predictions. If it allows me to pull it up here. He has ACC and Miami both finishing 7-1 in the conference. Virginia Tech, Clemson, NC State, and Louisville all finishing 6-2. Georgia Tech 5-3 in the conference, and so on and so on and so on. So I think that's just going to about do it for tonight. A little light this week. Again, next week, the 2024 College Football Preview Special with me, your host, Ryan Neff. A multitude of guests for next week. I am not going to mention any of them right now just because things can happen. All of these people are busy covering their teams, other things. So maybe as we get closer to the show time, I will tell everybody who's going to be on. With all that being said, I will see everybody on Sunday for End Zone to End Zone. We are getting closer and closer to the start of the NFL season. I think it's 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks. Good Lord. I will see everybody Sunday with Mike Fuji Fiordimando. Again, the music I played in the beginning is by Pecan Pie. That particular version is called Just Now. Again, the next time I will see you on this show, I am not going to do a show next Tuesday. Thursday is the college football preview special. Thanks for everybody that tunes in. Tell all your friends. Going to be a huge event next week. Again, I'm doing it live from McLawson's Pub and Grill in Fairless Hills. And again, I think I've got like 12 or 13 guests set up. So with all that being said, I will catch everybody next Thursday for the college football preview special.